For those of you just joining us, welcome. We, Mongolia Incorporated, is today introducing an incredible opportunity and growing potentials of investment in Mongolia's mining sector, projects, and the Mongolian government's policy towards foreign investment. Mongolia is located in the northeastern part of Asia and borders Russia and China. The country has a vast territory, nomadic culture, and rich mineral resources. Having adopted the democratic model, the country became an exemplary case in the region. Demographically, the majority of the population is made up of a rapidly growing young generation. Mongolia's GDP per capita has tripled over the last 30 years, rapidly assimilating new advanced technologies, broadly displaying transparent governance, and being very future-oriented. Over the past 30 years, the economy of Mongolia has grown rapidly, mostly thanks to its mining production. Mongolia has a wealth of natural resources and minerals, promising unprecedented growth potential for the country. Mineral sector accounts for the fourth of Mongolia's economy, more than 90% of total exports, and 70% of foreign direct investment.
This is Mongolia, a country that has preserved its nomadic culture of the 13th century Great Mongolia Empire of Genghis Khan. The democratic Mongolia of modern days is only 30 years old. In the past 3 decades, its economy has quadrupled. GDP per capita tripled, and the foreign direct investment skyrocketed by 846 times. The country has set up a high degree of transparency and equally favorable legal environment for both foreign and local investors. The government commits to maintaining the stability of policies, as well as digitizing the government services. The mining industry makes up 1/4 of Mongolia's economy, over 70% of foreign investment, and 94% of total exports. And yet 70% of its territories remain undiscovered to geological surveys, and mining licenses have been issued for only 1% of the total area. Mongolia has a vast resource deposits of coal, copper, gold, iron ore, and many others. Undiscovered resources and a high level of potential growth. In parallel with the growth of the mining industry, the banking sector is also undergoing a major reform, as 5 major banks are preparing for initial public offerings. Fintech solutions are being adopted rapidly by Mongolia's banking and financial sector, building up a complete digitalization in the sector. Mongolia's stock market was by far the best performance among the primary equity indexes tracked by Bloomberg in 2021. Mongolia Inc. will be the bridge to this favorable market, untapped resources, and future opportunities for investors. We provide information on investment opportunities across Mongolia's mining, banking, and financial sectors. Consulting services for businesses looking to operate in Mongolia. Guidance to enable a thorough investor understanding of Mongolia's business and economic environment. We understand the challenges of investing. We strive to provide the information needed to make the right investment decisions and to provide investors with a coordinated approach that saves them time and money. One and only independent information source, Mongolia Inc.
Mongolian government is now showing strong enthusiasm in supporting foreign investment in mining sector, and it sees more accessible and transparent provision of public services in the mineral sector with digitalizing. The issuance process of exploration license is more open and transparent. Moving forward to promote environmentally and socially sound mining activities, Mongolia is also in the process of drafting law amendments and making legal reform in the mining sector. The upcoming legal reforms in the mining sector focuses on guaranteed and favorable business environment for the operations of mining companies.
Good day, everyone. My name is Batnarimdalot Khanshar, Vice Minister of Mining and Heavy Industry of Mongolia. I wanted to take this opportunity to share what Mongolia has to offer. Mongolia is a country sandwiched between Russia and China. It's a simple economy, $15 billion economy, but in terms of land mass, per capita base, it's one of the largest. Mining plays an important role in our economy, 25% of our GDP, and 1/3 of our state budget. And more than 90% of our exports come from mining. And when it comes to foreign direct investment, more than 75% of it flows into our sector. Mongolia is a resource-rich country with abundant resources and exploration potentials in copper, in met coal, and gold, and crude oil. When we talk about government of Mongolia's policy, Mongolia has defined its long-term development agenda called Vision 2050. And we defined where we would like to be in the next 30 years, how we see ourselves in the next 30 years. But in the next 10 years, and we defined our new recovery policy. And the last 2 years has been challenging for any government, including Mongolia. And given the kind of challenges that we have faced, and we come up with new recovery policy. The new recovery policy really focuses on resolving the most urgent binding constraints the economy experiences. And if the government really focuses on resolving the most urgent binding constraints, and we should be able to let the economy expand and grow further. And that includes the revival of ports, the revival of energy sector, and the revival of industrialization, where mining plays an important role, and the revival of urban and rural areas, and the revival of green development, and lastly, the revival of government productivity. A new recovery policy, and we are very much focused on high value-added processing, and that includes our large development projects based on our key products. Oil refinery with a capacity of 1.5 million tons per annum. And when it comes to coal, so we have got a project with a capacity of 10 million tons per annum coal washing plant. And when it comes to copper, and we envisage ourselves to be one of the top 5 players by 2030. So we have got 2 copper smelter projects based on Erdenet and Oyutolgoy. And lastly, when it comes to steel making, we have got a private sector-led number of projects are taking place as we speak. Talk about mining. It really starts with exploration. And we would like to accelerate the mineral exploration in Mongolia. And starting this year, and the government of Mongolia aims to issue 350 to 400 new exploration licenses this year alone. And that's almost equivalent of number of licenses issued in the last 7 years. And all issuance process will be online at www.tender.gov.mn. And we invite all junior exploration companies, all those partners who are interested in exploring potentials with Mongolia, with us. And lastly, we would like to invite you to invest with us in Mongolia. Exploration potentials, world-class mines, and potential downstream opportunities are presented to you. And we welcome you to Mongolia. Thank you very much.
In accordance with the Treasury Law, Bank of Mongolia purchased precious metals from domestic market and refines them abroad to increase the foreign exchange reserves of the country. Over the past 5 years, Bank of Mongolia has purchased around 100 tons of precious metals and increased the foreign reserves by $4 billion. according to the law on prevention of rise, shortage and reduction of prices of major commodities, which is effective till end of 2022, Bank of Mongolia will purchase precious metals from the domestic market at the 5% above the price of London metals market. In order to improve gold purchase through Gold to National program and increase the foreign reserve of Bank of Mongolia, we began to provide concessional financing through commercial banks to provide financial support to gold mining companies, increase capacity and finance working capital. This concessional financing consists of two types of loan. First, advance payment financing, which is repayable in a given year. With this funding, Bank of Mongolia pre-purchases precious metals, including gold, of those companies to be mined in a given year. And commercial banks provide the loan with a 3% interest rate. Second, long-term financing. The duration is up to 3 years and funding is to be provided to commercial banks at the Bank of Mongolia policy rate, and commercial banks are adding up to 3% on top of policy rate and provided to the gold companies. In the framework of the program, the Bank of Mongolia provided 72 billion MNTs in advance payment and 404 billion MNTs in long-term financing, total 476 billion MNTs to 28 gold companies through 5 commercial banks in the last 2 years. As of end of 2021, total 4.4 tons of gold were purchased from 15 gold companies who received the funding, which accounting for 21% of total purchase in 2021.
Mongolian Stock Exchange was established in 1991 when Mongolia was making transition from centrally planned economy to open market economy. Some 475 enterprises, formerly state-owned enterprises, were privatized through the stock exchange successfully. So I would say that Mongolian Stock Exchange played a vital role in making the modern Mongolia, in making the economic transition of Mongolia at that time. Mongolian Stock Exchange was the highest growing market in 2021. It grew almost 130%. Mongolia has a big potential in terms of mining. There are more than 20 companies which are listed on overseas exchanges with operations in Mongolia. The existing securities market legislation enables us to facilitate dual listing. So far, we have one dual listed company on Mongolian Stock Exchange. A Canadian Toronto Stock Exchange listed company is dual listed on Mongolian Stock Exchange, and the shares are fungible and are tradable between the markets. So from that potential, from that perspective, I would say that Mongolian Stock Exchange has a big potential in terms of facilitating dual listing of companies with mining assets in Mongolia, but which are listed on overseas exchanges. I really hope that we will have increase in numbers of dual listings in the near future. As a market, Mongolian Stock Exchange is open to international investors. Currently, Mongolian Stock Exchange and Mongolian capital markets is going through the transition, through the big transition, because in accordance with the amendments to the existing banking legislation, the major banks will be listed on Mongolian Stock Exchange this year, and also we have seen increase in number of listings and increase in terms of trading activities on the market. Mongolian Stock Exchange was included in the FTSE Frontier Market Watch List in 2021. So this year we are expecting to be included in the Frontier Market tier, which will enable us to attract international institutional investors.
Mongolia is an attractive destination with promising future for global investors, as mining giants like Rio Tinto are fully committed and heavily invested in the country. Recently, Rio Tinto and Mongolian government have reached an agreement to end a long-running dispute over the OT project, one of the world's biggest copper and gold mine. And 2 months later, Rio Tinto has shown its interest to acquire the shares it doesn't already own in Turquoise Hill Resources, and announced that Rio Tinto strongly believes in the long-term success of Oyu Tolgoi and Mongolia. Aside from major projects like Oyu Tolgoi, there are investment opportunities in several junior companies working in gold, copper, and lithium projects. In this section, we are presenting projects of publicly listed companies operating in Mongolia's mining sector.
I would like to congratulate to all STEP Gold team members on the 4th anniversary of the IPO and say thank you for your hard work towards our goal of becoming the biggest precious metals company in Mongolia. Welcome to the ATO Gold Mine, located in Tagawasam, Northern Province, Eastern Mongolia. It's been 4 years since we raised $25 million and rang the opening bell at the TSX. At that time, ATO Gold Mine was a vast and open area, and we had a team of 20 people only. Today at STEP Gold, we have 350 people working on site right now, and 75% of them are from the local area.
There are over 1,200 families living in the area, and 1 in 4 families are directly connected to the company. STEP Gold is proud of becoming one of the largest job providers and investors in the region within the last 4 years. STEP Gold has been committed to social responsibility to ensure its mines and communities are sustainable and profitable for many years. As part of social responsibility, the company has provided scholarships and financial aid to over 1,000 students since 2017. The company also joined the 1 Billion Trees Initiative by the President of Mongolia. Founded in 2016, STEP Gold has made significant leaps quickly, acquiring the ATO project in 2017 and completing an IPO on the Toronto Stock Exchange in just 12 months. The company built its ATO gold mine from ground zero to commissioning in 14 months and commenced commercial gold production in 2020, demonstrating its leadership team's proven success to investors. In 2021, the company doubled its resources from 1.2 million ounces to 2.45 million ounces of gold equivalent, and completed a definitive feasibility study for Phase 1 and 2, demonstrating a robust, long-life mine operation. Throughout the year, with non-stop full-scale mining, crushing, and stacking operations, STEP Gold built a significant stockpile of fresh and unleached ore, equal to over 76,000 ounces of recoverable gold. Today, Phase 1 of the project is in full production, and now the company is moving on to Phase 2. In many ways, the mining industry in Mongolia has only just gotten started, with mining licenses only allotted to 1% of Mongolia's territory. And yet, the mining industry plays a vital role in its economy. It makes up 1/4 of Mongolia's economy, over 70% of foreign direct investment, and 93% of total export. With a Phase 2 expansion plan underway, STEP Gold has secured $60 million in financing from the Central Bank of Mongolia through a leading commercial bank in Mongolia, showing tremendous vote of support for STEP Gold and its ability to generate value for Mongolia's economy and mining sector. As STEP Gold and Mongolia continue to build a stronger future than ever before, there's room for more partners and investors who believe in its calling to become the largest precious metals company in Mongolia.
We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the board, to our partners, and to all Mongolian stakeholders for making it possible to fast-track the development of the ATO gold mine and commence production within only 2 years after the listing. And most importantly, we are very grateful to our shareholders for being with us during these challenging and yet exciting times. Thank you.
Step Gold, Mongolia's premier precious metals company.
I'm Ali Haji, CEO and Director of Ion Energy Limited, Mongolia's first lithium brine explorer. Ion Energy currently holds 110,000 hectares in Mongolia, 81,000 hectares in Sukbatar province with our Bavayol license, and 29,000 hectares in Urgaknaran at Dorngovi. Early results from Bavayol showed grades of up to 811 ppm back in 2016. We've since shown grades of up to 1,502 ppm in the highly prospective White Wolf prospect. Over the course of this year, we plan to expand our exploration program on Bavayol, review the results from Urgaknaran, and ultimately plan an additional exploration program that will allow us to de-risk and better understand these assets. Mongolia, in our view, is a friendly investment jurisdiction for mining. It's a nation that we've been doing business in for over a decade. We continue to advance not only our lithium project with Ion Energy, but our copper project with the Ranjin Resources, as well as a sister company, Step Gold, which is currently a gold producer here in Mongolia. Mongolia's proximity to the largest consumer of lithium on the planet makes Mongolia the ideal choice for a lithium brine explorer. Having first mover advantage in country, we expect to disrupt the battery supply chain in Asia.